Have you noticed when you do a lookup function like a VLOOKUP or an XLOOKUP, it only returns one match even if there's multiple matches? This can be deceiving and easily get you into trouble with your manager. So let me show you a few ways to guarantee you get all the matches every single time. Let's get into it. First up, let's take a look at the problem with lookup functions. And over here is the table we're working with. And let's suppose that we're looking for Alex Johnson to see what this person's been buying. So we want to find out their order ID, the product, and the price as well, just like here. But we want all of the matching results, not just the first one. So this would be another one, same thing lower down, etc. For this, you might think of just using an XLOOKUP. So let's give that a try. The lookup value is we're looking for Alex Johnson, comma, and where can we find him? Well, within this customer name table column, comma, and the return array is what do we want as the answer? We want all of the columns returned just when they say Alex Johnson. So we'll select all of them, close the parenthesis and hit enter. You'll notice that we get this first line, but actually we're missing all of the lines below that. This is problematic because it makes it seem like the formula is working correctly and you will encounter similar issues with a VLOOKUP or an index match too. The first and simplest solution that comes to mind is just using the filter tool. So let's take a look at how that would work. We simply have to go under the Home tab, go to Sort and Filter, and select a filter. Once you have this drop down of the arrows, we want to go for Alex Johnson and click on Select All and just choose Alex Johnson. Once you do that, you'll notice we get all of the Alex Johnson options, but there are some problems. Firstly, we can't see the original entire table anymore. And secondly, if we try to get the sum of all the prices, so the total amount this customer has spent, if we go ahead and select that, you'll notice that we get this 7650 figure, which actually is not the sum of these. This would just give you something like 2000, but in fact we have a much bigger number here. The reason is because the sum function is not accounting for the filtering. Instead, it's just counting all of the rows in the dataset, regardless of whether they're Alex Johnson or any of these other people. That's why the filter tool might not be the perfect solution. A better alternative could be the filter function. And I realize it's not available for all Excel versions, so we'll look at an alternative later in the video. For now, just using the filter function, it's equals filter, and the array is the entire table, comma. Under the include, we just want to include where the customer name column, so this column C, is equals to, in quotations, Alex Johnson. You can either type it manually or a better alternative is just to select it from the cell as we've already typed it in. Close the parenthesis and hit enter. Now we have the same answers as the filter earlier, but we can compare these two side by side. And if I try to get the sum of all of these values, you'll notice that we get the correct number at 1950. Once we have all these answers, the next step would be to visualize them. And a great way to do that is using chart templates like the ones HubSpot is kindly providing us. By clicking the link in the description, you can access a variety of Excel graph templates completely for free. The download includes an Excel file with instructions on how to use the template, along with a range of chart types to visualize your data. You can easily modify the data within these templates and the charts will update automatically. These templates can either accommodate a single column or multiple columns of data depending on your needs. I personally find these templates most useful to determine which chart type suits my data best, as it's quite uncommon for templates to show all of the different chart types at once. So I recommend heading over to the link in the description below to download these free chart templates from HubSpot to level up your Excel game, and thanks to them for sponsoring this video. We've just seen the basic filter function, but there is some more customization we can do with the if empty option. So let me go back up in here under the filter function, and you'll notice that we actually dynamically linked the Alex Johnson name, so we can easily change that to say Brian Smith. And you'll notice we get all of the matching values there too. Even better, if I change this to something else like hello here, you'll notice that we have an error that's basically saying that, hey, we're not finding a match in here. Now, instead of showing this broken formula, maybe a better solution would be to add the comma and then put the if empty option. So this is basically saying if we don't have a match, what should we say? So we can put in quotations something like no match found. That way it's a bit more descriptive than just a broken formula. So if I put Kenji in here, who's not in the dataset, you'll see we now have no match found. So far, our results have been showing the entire row, but what if we only want specifics like maybe just the product that that person's bought or the price that they bought it at? That's actually quite easy to customize. All we need to do is go back inside of the filter, and you'll notice this first part is called the array. You can kind of see this as the answer headers that it's going to return. So in our case, let's suppose we only want to see the products. For that, all we need to do is select the products and hit enter. Now you'll see that it only returns the headphones, monitor, lamp, and tablet without any of the IDs or other columns. Same thing goes with just extending this further to 2 columns now as the array. Now you see we have both the product and the price. Unfortunately, the filter function isn't available for all Excel versions, so let's take a look at some alternatives. The first one that comes to mind is just using an if statement. So that's going to be equals to if, hit the tab key, and here we're saying that if Alex Johnson here is equals to the Alex Johnson within this customer name column, if that's the case, we should see some kind of result. So as the value if true, let's go ahead and add the products. Suppose that's what we're looking for. We're gonna select all of those, comma, and the value if false, meaning if there is no match, we can just leave it empty. To do that, you just need to add 2 quotations, close a parenthesis, and hit enter. You'll notice now we have the same answers as we did before with the filter, except that they're laid out slightly differently because they have these excess spaces in between. These are because it's really looking at the first one and then it's going down to the monitor, and it's really following the same order as the table over here without skipping any. While this gets you the answer that you want, it's not ideal in terms of presentation because of those excess spaces. So let's see if we can clean those up somehow. And for this, we're gonna have to get a bit creative. Go to that very top cell, and in the if statement here, we wanna make a few changes. At the very start where the equal sign is, we'll use a TEXTJOIN function. Hit the tab key. I think this one's available from Excel 2016 onwards. The delimiter is basically what we want to separate each of these values. We can just put a comma in quotations, comma again now to switch to the ignore if empty part. So we can just put ignore empty cells. All we need to write is a true there, comma, and then the text one is all of the if statement. That's fine as is. We can close out the very end and hit enter. You'll notice here if I rearrange this, so I put it from this side, we have the exact same data, but now it's all compact in one line. If you find it a bit too tight, you can always increase it by adding 1 extra space after that comma there, hit enter, and now you see it's a bit more easy to read. As you've seen, we had to get a bit creative there by joining the TEXTJOIN and the if function together. That said, if you wanted the results in one line, so one here for the laptop, then down below the monitor and so forth, so they're all going down without those extra spaces. There are some workarounds, but they do require adding an extra column. That's just counting how many times Alex Johnson is there. So this would be like count of 1, 2, etc. And then over here, you will need to combine a few different functions like the offset, maybe an aggregate, row function, etc. So it can easily get quite complicated. Hopefully this does the job for you. If you want a more comprehensive guide on the filter function, which is actually one of my favorite functions in Excel, you can check out this video over here that's gonna teach you some of the more advanced functionalities too, or you can take our Excel course over here. Hit that like and that subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.